Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nur Akmazatul Shazana binti Muhammad Yusof. My metric card number is DF170102. So we were required to do a project on subject steel and timber structure. So yeah, without further ado, let's move into the slide show.
Okay, so I will explain how I conduct the StepPro software. Firstly, we need to know the geometry or the design of the structure. So we need to know the length, the width of the structure before we proceed to the size of the concrete, column, beam, and so on. So firstly, we need to create a ground beam first. So we have to give our size, or we need to consider our size first. Then we need to look whether it's fair or not. So I proceed with the 0.5 mm times 0.35 mm for the ground beam. So as you can see in the slide, the ground beam, all the size of ground beam is same. And for the column, I used to give the size about 254 times 254 times 89 millimeters. And for the beam, the size is 54 millimeters times 156 millimeters times 31 millimeters. All the size we need to consider based on logically. Based on the size is need to, yes, bottom is need to bigger than the top one. For the low and top chord, the size is 120 times 120 and times 4.0 millimeters. And the truss, all the truss give a same size, 60 millimeters times 60 millimeters and times 6.3 millimeters. The size of truss is much smaller than the low and top chord. And for the load, I used to give at the top chord is 1.6 kilonewton per meter, and for the bottom chord I give 3.05 kilonewton per meter. And for self weights, all the building I give a 1.0 kilonewton per meter. And for the permanent variable action is a 0.75 kilonewton per meter. And for the wind load, we consider at 2.29 kilonewton per meter. After we proceed with the load, we need to analyze all the building structure, whether it's a fair or not. Yes, from my design, from the size I propose, it is not fail or warning. Whether if the warning is must at the less than the requirement. One more thing, StepPro can give automatically size if we are not sure with our size. Maybe our size is failed. Thank you.
So for the introductions, the project background, we were required to design a one-story steel frame building. In particular, the content should give a detailed design for all element structures, such as an internal columns, truss member, and also the connection types. So as stated in the project instruction given, the details of the constructions are stated. The floors, we're gonna use the ground bearing slab, and for the external wall, gonna use the proprietary cladding, and also the fire protections are 4 hours fire rating. Okay, next slide. This is the frame geometry of our steel structure frame building. So you can see here, the first one is the 3D view and the second one is 2D view. This view were designed in a StackPro by one of our group member. So you can see here we have a slab, a column, steel beam, and also the trusses. This is the structural layout for our project. You can see here, this is the ground floor plan. This ground floor plan were given in the instructions, in the project instructions. And next, this is the plan view. These are from the StackPro design also. So next, this is the front view of the design and also the side elevation you can see here. So both of these are from the StackPro.
Okay, so next, this is the sketch of the load distribution. These loads are calculated at the purlin and trusses designed. And this is the selection of the apply load. Two basic load, which is GK and QK, are the load on trusses that needed to be considered. Meanwhile, the rest is the information that were used in the project.
Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi. My name is Muhammad Zikril. Okay, I will present about the truss design. Okay, first we start with the design procedure. Okay, first we analyze, assume all joints are pin joint and all loading on the nodes, therefore the output will be tensile stress and compressive stress. Okay, and then we move to analyze and of the load bearing members such as rafter as a continuous beam supported at nodes and loaded by the purlin. Okay, next, assessment of the stress due to eccentricity of the connection and the assessment of the effect of joint rigidity and deflection. Okay, we move to the truss design. Okay, this is, as you can see, this is the truss design. Okay, this is the specification of the design. Spacing between trusses, weight of the roof sheet, self-weight, and imposed load. Purlin design. Okay, so you can see this is the calculation. This distance purlin is 0.85, and and then we use the single angle 50 times 30 times 5 L. Zx equal to 2.86. Okay, this is the load transfer to the truss on slope. From the data, we got the design load P is equal to 3.6. As you can see, this is the loading summary of the truss, and we check the moment. We use the single angle 70 times 70 times 7L, which is WL is equal to 8.41. Check the deflection, and the allowable deflection is 15.25, is larger than 13.4, which is okay. Okay, next we move to the internal force. Okay, as you can see, this is the internal force that we got from the StackPro. Okay, we move to the compression member. Okay, this is the compression member. We got the maximum compression NED is 243.1 kilonewton. Okay, with try section 120 times 120 times 4 SHS square hollows section. Okay, and the TDA area WPL we got from the table. Okay, the section classification, as you can see, use steel grade FE 430 S275, and then the overall classification, the overall cross section classification in class 1. Okay, NED, as you can see, we got 243.1, which is less than 5060, which is okay. And then the buckling resistance of the section clause. Okay, we got the NED 243.1 is lesser than 263.12, which is okay. 263.12 is MBRD. Okay, the tension member. Okay, for the tension member, we use welded connection, and axial force is 110.76, and then we satisfy the condition NED per NTRD. We must get lesser than 1.0. Okay, we use 1.120 times 120 times 4L equal angle gross area 18.2 is bigger than 4.0 0.71. Okay, and last one, NED per NTRD, which is 0.22 is lesser than 1.0, which is okay. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh to Professor Madya Dr. Muhammad Izzuddin bin Ahmad. My name is Muhammad Nur Fitri bin Ishaq. Today I want to present about diagonal brace member, vertical brace member and design of connection between member for our steel project. So first of all, for your information, the diagonal and vertical member have a same calculation flow but different in beam number, section, jar length and NED. They have used the same depth, thickness, area, I value, WL value and WPL value. They also use the same steel grade, which is Fe430 in bracket S275 with same thickness, same Fy value, Fu value and strain value. So we get C over T from the table 5.2 sheet 1 over 3. For overall cross section classification, we get class 1. For this diagonal brace member, for compression member, we get the higher maximum positive at beam number 6 to 9 section with length 1.14 meter and NED 89.06 kilonewton. So we calculate the NCRD and we get NED is smaller than NCRD, so the value is okay. Then we calculate buckling resistance of section using clause 6.3.1 in bracket 3. Before we calculate G, we need to know the value of NCR, lambda bar, P value, and we need to select buckling curve from EC table. So and we get the P value is 0.8862 less than 1.0, so it's okay. And then we calculate NBRD and we get 319.3 kilonewton. So our NED is less than NBRD, so it's okay. The chosen cross section 60606.3 SHS is in grade S275 still is acceptable. So for the diagonal brace member for tension member, we get the higher maximum negative NED is 6.12 kilonewton at beam number 631 section. By using the same value of steel grade, we was calculate the welded connection. According to clause 4.13 of EN 1993-1-8 2005, fatty area is equal with gross area. So NED over NTRD is less or equal 1.0. So we need to find value A by use formula of NED equal to AFY over gamma MO. Because of NED equal to NTRD, and we get area is 22.25 mm squared. If we use 60606.3, gross area will equal by 13.1 cm squared, and we is more than 0.2225 cm squared of area. So to verification NPLRD, and we get 360 kilonewton. For NURD, and we get 405.6 kilonewton. So NED over NTRD, we get 0.017 is less than 1.0, so it's okay. So for the design of connection between member, we use welded connection direct shear. We use NED from diagonal brace member at tension member with same value of steel grade and section. So we try size is 8 mm well, through thickness 0.7s, we get 5.6 mm. First we calculate design shear strength of well, we get 2 to 3 Newton per mm squared. Second, we calculate the design resistance of the well per unit length, we get 1.25 kilonewton per mm. For lastly, for total resistance minimum length required is 4.9 mm, the required length is 37 mm. Total resistance of well is 46.3 kilonewton, is more than 6.12 kilonewton, so it's okay. So the welded connection can resist all the force. That's all from
Okay, this is the detailing from the all the calculation. We got the top and bottom chord. We use 120 times 120 times 4 SHS, and the diagonal and vertical member we use 60 times 60 times 6.3 SHS. Okay, that's all. Thank you.
Hi sir, my name is Kirupashini Ravindran, and I would like to explain about column design and connection truss to column. Okay, first thing the column design. Column design to support vertical load down their longitudinal axis and almost square in a cross section in order to prevent twisting. Universal column and commonly referred to as H-beams and named after the H-size appearance of their cross-sectional. Okay, after this we will move on to the column procedure. So first thing we should calculate the axial buckling resistance, second lateral torsional buckling resistance, third bending resistance, fourth interaction factors. So here I provide the StatPro critical load, which is I found for column the critical load is 197.036. Okay, here is the calculation. So for the calculation, cross-sectional classification as known, Eurocode provided behind the Eurocode. So the HPGATWTF, so all is provided. So the calculation is found out that the flange is class 1, for the web is class 1. So overall cross-section classification therefore class 1. So the calculation continue with cross-section compressed resistance and slenderness of flange buckling resistance. So using 254 times 254 times 89 in grade 2 S275 still is suitable for the column design. Okay, next I will move on to the connection truss to column. So the NED for the truss to column I found out from the StatPro is 73.082. So the calculation is continue basic requirement. AP should be more than A requirement. So the A requirement we got more than 4,000. So since the A requirement is more than 4,000, the A proof is okay. So next we should calculate the effective area. So the effective area C we got 26. So to ensure that there is no overlap, C has to be less than half the depth between flange. So we got 113, which is more than 36, is so the okay. Therefore estimation of no overlap is correct. So yield strength of the 90mm plate FYP is 236. So finally the step is TP is 90mm is more than 12.30, so means okay. So the final step for the connection is the base requirement. So the base requirement is 334, which is more than VET, which is 73. Okay, that's all from me. Thank you.
So lastly, this is beam to column connection. You can see here there is the maximum load that we get from the StatPro. And next,
you can see here, this is the detailing of the connections. This is from the view A and the right one is from the view B. You can see here, this is the design consists of 5 bulbs, which the spacing between each bulb is 40mm.
Next, I'm gonna explain to you about the beam to column connection calculation. So the design load here is 177.4. This is the critical value from StatPro in beam 60. So gonna proceed with the analysis of external forces. First, we're gonna calculate the load due to shear, which is the design load divided by N. N is the total number of bolts we use. So we use 5 bolts at the left side and 5 bolts at the right side. So it means we use 10 total of the bolt. So we're gonna divide it by 10 and we get 17.74 kilonewton. And then we're gonna calculate the load due to moment using those formulas stated. So we got 59.13 kilonewton. And then the second step, we're going to calculate the resistance against external forces. In this project, we use the size of bolt 20 mm diameter and we use grade 4.6. So for grade 4.6, the AV gonna be 0.6. So we're gonna calculate the tension resistance here. So the K2 we use 0.9 because we use a normal bolt. So we get the result of 70.6 kilonewton for the tension resistance, and the shear resistance we got 47 kilonewton. And then we have to check whether FTED is smaller than FTRD, and also FVED must be smaller than FVRD. So we get the FTED smaller and also the FVED smaller, so the design is okay, so we can proceed with the interaction between shear and tension forces. So here, using the formula stated, we must get the value is less or equal than 1.0. So in this project, we got 0.98, which is less than 1.0. So the design is okay, and we can proceed to construct the steel structure using the size of bolt proposed and also the number of bolt proposed. And that's it. Thank you.
For the summary, StepPro software is used to determine the loading from the structure design. Yes, we use StepPro to give a design without failure, and we can adjust the size of the reinforced bar and concrete according to our requirement. Okay, it is not easy to complete the project and facing the problem without a good teammate. And we have learned a variety of knowledge and the design structure, and we capable to solve the structure problem. And we hope we can use this knowledge in the future at the working world. Thank you.